All right, everybody get the stuff together. All right, 3, 2, 1, let's jam. Hey everybody! Happy
Happy Fursuit Friday!
So, as you can see from the thumbnail, we are going to be talking about Cowboy Bebop and Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania.
Let's see your thumbnail.
See, it's starring Paul Rudd.
Green. Yeah, I like Paul Rudd. He was in,
He was in movies.
Yeah, he was in a bunch of movies.
So, I have seen
Clueless. There you go.
I have seen these a long time ago, but it's been a while. And Angelina never finished watching Cowboy Bebop, so I was like, you know what? I gotta make sure she sees this because she knows a lot about the actor who plays Spike in this from all kinds of things, including lots of Transformer shows.
He's been in a lot of things. Yeah, he's been in multiple. I think
Steve Bloom, by the way, in case you aren't familiar.
Yeah, I believe he was in 3 different. He was in at least 2 different Transformers, but I think 3.
So I was able to show her this. It took a bit of time for us to get around to watching all these with all our other commitments. But I looked up the proper order of when the movie takes place, Knockin' on Heaven's Door, which for some reason it doesn't say that at all in any of the actual the stuff in the movie.
Knock, knock, knock.
But I have looked it up, and that is evidently what it is referred to as in Japan. So I don't know if they just scrubbed it from the title or what. But in any case, Cowboy Bebop is the story about a couple of bounty hunters. One, a former member of the Red Dragon Syndicate, and the other, a former interstellar police officer, who have both left their previous place for various reasons and become bounty hunters, of which they have moderate to little success at. The major running theme of the series is they don't make a whole lot of money doing this, whether it's the bounty either gets away, they die, which in this case, for some reason, it's not wanted dead or alive, it's wanted alive only. It's never exactly established why that's the case, but that is the case in this series. Or it's just, it turns out the bounty was not worth a whole lot of money, or, we're sorry, we're not going to pay that bounty because of X reason. It's a lot of weird arbitrary things that come up. But in any case, the series revolves around these 2 guys, and over the course of the first 9 episodes, they pick up 3 new, other members of their team. Faye Valentine, a femme fatale who does not have all of her memories. She doesn't remember where she came from or how she got here, but she is in the future world of the series, and she is also a bounty hunter. In fact, when they first meet her, she is a bounty, but the bounty is I believe rescinded. I forgot. Ein is the first member in episode 2. Ein is a data dog. They don't know this when they end up collecting the dog to be a member of their crew, but he was a science experiment of sorts. It unfortunately never really expanded upon past his debut episode, but he does get to do some interesting things over the course of the series to help out, proving he's super intelligent. But they don't really ever seem to notice or go, "Oh my God, the dog is a genius," or anything like that. It just happens, and they don't even think to comment on it.
What is a data dog?
That's just what they're called. I don't know. He's a Welsh corgi.
Do we ever get? We never got to meet his brother, the lore dog.
Oh, okay. So anyhow, and then in episode 9, we get to meet Edward Wong Hao Pepelutaversky IV, or Ed for short. And Ed is a little girl who hails on the desolate planet Earth, and they are a super hacker. In fact, they actually were able
Super, thanks for hacking.
They were actually able to hijack their ship with a little remote control, like you'd use on a drone or something, and were able to bring their ship down to where they were, and basically said, I'm joining your crew. They somehow had heard about their exploits and wanted to join up. And at first they begrudgingly accepted her as part of the crew, but eventually they were like, yeah, she's really useful. Her computer skills are like unmatched, except for apparently Ein. In like 1 or 2 episodes, Ein ends up being key to solving the mystery that they're trying to do.
And Edward has takes on a non-binary appearance.
Yeah,
there's actually, it's rare, but a few characters even question whether or not.
Yeah, it does.
Edward was a boy or a girl, and Edward doesn't seem to care. For
Edward does identify as female, but otherwise doesn't seem to like care. Like, hey, I'm a girl. Thank you. Right? Doesn't happen.
Yeah, they don't really seem to be
doesn't
concerned.
Insist.
Yeah, it's like.
Ed actually named herself that, so the fact that she chose what's traditionally a masculine name, although the other parts of the name are also completely made up, she even admits that she made it up. So, but yeah, so the main crux of the series is that these 2 guys end up with these 2 girls and this dog, and are constantly just barely scraping by. There's constantly times where they're, low on food, and, they're having to take on, some kind of, like, really lowest of the low, bounties just to, make ends meet. There's even times where they run out of gas and they're drifting through space. So, yeah, I'm not doing it justice just describing these characters, but this is a show from the 90s, but it still holds up.
Yeah, holds up very well. Yes, yeah, the intrigue comes from them learning about the bounties and then themselves. And
yes, that is one thing, is that over the course of the series, other than, like I said, the dog, we learn a little bit about each of the 4 principal human characters' backgrounds. And by the end of the series, everybody has some kind of resolution, some greater than others. Spike being the the main character, so he's the one who gets the most development. In fact, some might even say like the episodes that focus on his history are like the main episodes, and everything in between could be considered filler. But yeah, the movie takes place, I think, what was it, like 4 episodes before the end of the series?
Yeah, about that.
And the movie features, it actually came out in 2001, and strangely enough, features a terrorist. And the terrorist is using viral warfare, which was a little bit weird. Going back and watching this, is like, okay, there's a lot of like COVID kind of things going on in this. So I was like, oh my goodness.
There was a trans woman in there.
Oh, yes, there was. I hadn't seen this in so long, I did not remember that was a scene in there, but evidently you were familiar with scene being in the movie. But yeah, just a throwaway gag. They knock on a door, and this person opens up their shutter and finds Ed dressed in a Halloween outfit. It actually takes place at Halloween time in October. For some reason, even though this is the future and the planet Mars, they apparently still celebrate Halloween.
Yeah, they do.
And evidently they do a Thanksgiving Day parade style Halloween parade.
Yeah.
It was very, very unusual, but hey, it's the future on a different planet. What's to say of what comes of what traditions? In fact, that's one of the other things. Over the course of the series, there is a lot of they got it right or they got it way wrong kind of stuff about the future. I mean, I know we're not anywhere close to the future timeline that this series takes place in. I think it was, what is it, 2070?
Yeah, it's 2070, 2071, somewhere in that area.
But yeah, they have ships that fly into space, but they still have cars that drive on the ground.
Yes, and
they've populated, Ganymede and Mars and probably a few other moons out there.
Yeah, and they look just like cities of the time that the show was released.
And the a lot of props to the movie. They got a lot of like realistic details in the city compared to the anime series, which often does not go to like very like normal areas. Like they usually are in a lot more, far-flung places with a few dips here and there into more grounded locations. But yeah. A lot of the English that is depicted in the movie is all accurate. There's even like signs that actually read Coca-Cola.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. Other than like what was it? There was a sign for like push button here instead of press here or something like that. Like everything like was accurate to how you'd see it in reality. So like I thought that was really well done. The other major thing, Spike is practiced in the art of Jeet Kune Do, or basically what Bruce Lee was famous for using. And the fight choreography for whenever Spike is, doing hand-to-hand combat is really well done. It is something like whether Bruce Lee or Jackie Chan, those sort of movies where you see them doing this awesome fight choreography. Spike is really good at that stuff.
It's one of my favorite things of this series. I remember asking anime fans, like, hey, what show has really good fight choreography? Because there are a lot of anime with fighting, but a lot of the choreography isn't really very grounded. It's usually like Dragon Ball Z. With a show that centers around fighting, and it's just a flurry of punches and kicks, there really is no significant effort put into fight choreography. It's just, this guy's going to punch this guy for a while.
Yeah.
And then, this guy got to power up, so he's going to punch this guy.
That is one thing. Is like in a lot of those type of shows, they just animate one series of actions and just repeat them 20 times or more and call that a fight scene.
Yeah, and it's fine. I don't hate it.
I mean,
it's nice for what it is, but if you want to see fight choreography, you're not going to find it. And unfortunately, a lot of shows, whether they center around fighting or not. Freaking Family Guy has some of the best fight choreography in animation. That's no joke. It has when they do fight, it is amazing choreography.
Okay.
They do not get enough credit for it.
Did not expect it to go in this direction.
Yeah, they should. I'd like to see more, especially the giant chicken.
Yeah, they mentioned him in the newest episode we saw, but I don't think he was in it though. Anyway,
I just like birds.
So yeah, definitely. Oh yeah, how did I not even think of that? So yeah, definitely recommend if you've never seen Cowboy Bebop or the movie. Highly recommend you check those out. They are classics for a reason. Or at least the series is. I don't know how well received the movie is, but I definitely enjoyed the movie quite a bit.
Yeah, it's very beautifully animated.
Yes, indeed. You can also tell that they got a considerable increase in budget to make the movie, with all the attention to detail that I mentioned. But yeah, so yeah, that said, we've got Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania. There's a showcase here, Paul Rudd. The sweet life of Paul Rudd.
yeah, he has an amazing shape. Was he 53? I think it was.
Yeah, he does. He does not seem to be nearly that old.
If you look really hard, you can find evidence of aging on his face, but it is tricky.
But the other big name in the movie, Michael Douglas, right?
Yeah, Michael Douglas. He's looking I think he's looking closer.
Yeah, he is Hank Pym, the creator of the Ant-Man suit.
The original Ant-Man.
It's kind of unfortunate we've not really gotten to see a whole lot of him in the suit, other than in one brief flashback in the previous movie. But he still loves his ants, and he still got it. As far as the technology and stuff, he's still working on things. This movie, I believe, is the start of Phase 5 of the MCU.
It is the official start of Phase 5.
And the movie starts off with Paul Rudd's character kind of feeling on top of the world.
I'm on top of the world.
he's known around the city as being Ant-Man, so he's not hiding it or anything.
You can see
and
a lot
people,
of this in the trailer.
People know that he's one of the heroes to help save the universe from Thanos.
Yes.
And although not in the way that a lot of people were speculating he would he would do so, if you know what I'm getting at. But in any case, so the main plot of the movie focuses on the fact that the whole Ant-Man family gets accidentally sucked down into the quantum realm, which is this microscopic sub universe that is not exactly. They don't really get into too much detail of like where or how it exists, just that it does.
Yeah, somehow there's like breathable air.
Yeah,
fully developed regular.
That was something that never got touched upon. They're able to take off their superhero helmets or masks.
They do incessantly.
Yeah, some people don't care for that, but it didn't bother me. Other than initially that they didn't have a. It's like. Oh, is there breathable air? Oh, there is. Okay.
Yeah, it's like
no concern about the breathable air.
No exposition to be like, hey, can you even breathe that? Maybe it's because they knew because of Janet in the previous movie.
I didn't even thought about
still,
that. Yeah.
And they really do open up and put on their helmets over and over again. It's like pick one, but it wasn't really that bad.
But in any case, so they accidentally get separated when they get zapped down to the quantum realm, and they spend, I don't know, what would you say, a third or half of the movie trying to get back together?
Yeah, there's a good portion where, they're separating, they try to get back. But spoilers here, by the way.
But they made some really fun, interesting characters, some a little more, developed than others.
Yes, there's some characters that get no development, none.
I mean, even the ones that don't get development, they're still interesting.
They're interesting,
but
yeah.
They just don't get. Yeah, there's definitely no boring characters. But unfortunately, some of them just don't get much more beyond. Oh, hey, look, this character's weird looking, isn't he? This is the thing they do.
Yeah,
that's it.
Check out this weird thing, and then they do the weird thing. You're like, that's a weird.
That's entertaining.
Thing. Yeah, but they lean on that a little hard in some areas.
So yeah, I definitely couldn't. Other than the primary antagonist and his I don't know what you want to call it, but the other character that is not revealed in the trailer, so we won't be talking about him. But you'll hopefully, if you're a Marvel fan, you'll be excited when you see them.
Yeah,
but other than those two. None of the new characters are at all memorable enough to be like, oh yeah, I remember their name.
Yeah, there's a lot of characters that it's like, am I supposed to care about that?
Yeah.
Because there is this whole, there's a whole bunch. Some of the characters, like I said, were at least interesting, but aside from our core cast and the main villain, I don't know if we're supposed to, I guess we're supposed to care about some of these characters.
He was revealed, this guy was revealed in the trailers, but Bill Murray's character is kind of a one scene wonder.
Yes,
he's got one scene. He's really fun in this one scene. He gets to have a lot of dialogue, and he's really fun in this scene. And then he just gets written out of the story. We never see him again. There's not even a post-credit scene showing how he's doing or anything.
Yeah.
Maybe he'll be back later, but probably won't be. This is probably his only time in this story. But it was cool to see him in something other than Ghostbusters. So yeah, I definitely think it was cool they got him for the movie. I'm not exactly sure why. Maybe somebody was a big fan of them and they wanted to work with him. But glad he said yes. Glad he was in the movie. But other than like I said, the one scene, it's a sizable scene. Yeah, it's a good maybe 5-10 minute scene with him as the focal point of the story. And it, reflects on one of the other members of the core cast. Other than that, it's kind of just a means to an end. They kind of get rid of him and, move along with the story.
Yeah. I was confused, not about the character, but about how when they get sent to the quantum realm, why don't they just grow out of it?
Yeah, that was another thing. For some reason, Ant-Man has always had the ability to shrink down and get big.
Absurdly
he
small.
He should technically be able to just keep growing and get back to full size, and then be able to use. Well, I guess maybe he wouldn't know how to operate it. Maybe the technology in the outside the quantum realm to be able to bring them back, because that, like I said, they're trying to find each other throughout the whole movie.
I think it's
so maybe that's the reason why, but they never say so.
Yeah, I think the idea, because I think the idea is that they can only grow to a certain scale, but it doesn't really make sense.
It's never established anyway that they can't.
We saw in the first movie he was able to go subatomic, even though it was like, no, don't do that, you know, and whatever. But he still was able to do it and return to full size. In this movie, it's just not explained. Oh, I would like to add too in the Marvel comics, this quantum realm city, the Quantum City, it was from the Micronauts comic, which was a originally Japanese property that came to the States. It was Micromen, I think. I forget what the name. I feel terrible, but it was Micro, and like it had connections to the Transformers toy line.
Oh, interesting.
I mean, that's how I find out about it.
So do you think the Transformers are going to end up in the MCU?
No, they made it the Quantum Realm because they no longer have the rights to like ROM the Space Knight and the Microverse and things like that. So,
well. One last thing to say about the Quantum Realm. They have a lot of really nifty, let's call them alien designs that show up in this place. And unfortunately, there are a few scenes where they're a little hard to see. But when you can see them, they are really spectacularly designed and unique looking. In fact, there's not a lot of like duplicate-looking creatures.
There are so many unique types. It's like, outside of the humans.
There's a couple of humanoid characters there. They're part of the characters that we mentioned. Where it's kind of like, oh, are we supposed to care about them? Maybe? I don't know. But other than like the one cool thing they can do, they don't really have much going on for them. So unfortunately, they could have done a little better to make these characters more memorable, or like for us to get to know their names and stuff. But I just thought it was weird that for a movie that isn't the Guardians of the Galaxy, which takes place in outer space a lot, where you got to have all kinds of weird aliens because you're in deep space where there wouldn't be a lot of humans, if any, besides our protagonist. They had a lot of really cool like xenomorph designs, for lack of a better term, just alien creatures, or just creatures that are different than humans or earthly animals. None of them looked like they were anything you'd see in this world. So it was really cool. I guess Bill Murray was one of the random. I mean, they even address it like, "Are you human?" And he's like, I mean, kind of, sort of, maybe. I guess you can call me human.
Yeah, in the ways that count.
In the ways that count, he says. It's like, okay, so I guess that's all we're going to get for, like, why and how he looks like a human being. But in any case, definitely don't think it deserves the hate that I've been hearing it's been getting. I mean, I don't know. Maybe it could have been better for being the start of our fifth.
You gotta bring the bar down.
Yeah, I mean, I guess so. But I don't think it was bad at all.
I had fun with it myself.
It was fun. It had a lot of action scenes. It established the new arc villain. I thought pretty well. I mean, it doesn't give away too much about him. We get to know just enough about him to have him be intriguing, I think.
Yeah.
The only downside is if you aren't caught up on watching your Disney Plus series, you might be scratching your head at a few moments during the movie, especially the post-credit stuff.
Yeah.
Because this ties into the Disney Plus series.
Yeah, I don't think it's much of a spoiler to say that one of the stingers was, or post-credit scenes, is just a preview of Loki season 2.
Or it seems to be anyway.
Yeah, well, yeah. But I don't really think you need to see Loki. I don't really think you lose anything.
There was a person in front of us in our audience who was like, what is he doing here? It's like, oh, you haven't seen Loki, have you?
Yeah, it's like, he's there.
I mean, granted, that's one of the things that a lot of people, I think, have a complaint about any of these cinematic universes. It's like, oh, you got to do homework before you go to the movies.
Yeah,
it's
that's
like,
what I don't
just
feel.
keep up with stuff. That's all.
Well, I feel like you can. A lot of the movies, I think, they do a pretty good job of, even though the series tie in, especially with this one, I don't think you really have to see.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely agree you don't need to. It's just, if you have seen everything, everything will make a little bit more sense.
Yeah, I don't know.
You get more out of it.
I would say you could definitely get a little bit more because of like one or two things, but ultimately, I don't think you needed to see any of them. I don't see how they effectively. I mean, you could see like, oh, hey, they're building upon this existing storyline a little bit, but that's about it. I mean, there were a couple things. But ultimately, I don't think you need.
The only other major thing I would say is just you probably should have seen the other Ant-Man movies to know who the principal characters are, because they don't spend a whole lot of time being like, oh, hey, daughter, how are you doing? Oh, Dad, I'm doing great.
They probably should have, because
or anything like that.
They changed the actor for the daughter, so.
Really?
Yeah,
you mean Cassie?
Yeah,
Okay.
She was originally.
I mean, they do establish her character. There's maybe 10-15 minutes before they get into the action.
Why does she look different? Why didn't they just keep the original actress? Or the second actress, not the original. The original was too young still. But the second actress, like the one from Endgame.
Time skip.
No, from Endgame.
Oh, okay.
Endgame.
All right, I guess I didn't pay attention to that then.
But, oh gosh, I had something, no, keep going.
Oh, I don't really have much else to say, other than, like I said, movie definitely not deserving the hate it's been getting. We both really enjoyed the movie.
I enjoyed it largely because they kind of pull away from the Marvel humor formula a bit.
I didn't think that.
Oh, they
I like the humor.
I like the I didn't. That doesn't negate what I said. I'm saying that a lot of the Marvel movies have this relentless humor that no matter, it's like Spider-Man, all the way start to finish, they're joking, and even in the final battle, there are moments of slapstick humor. And in this movie, there is a little bit of humor, but they don't hit you over the head with it, like that. Because I feel like it got worse and more frequent, and I think that the breaking point was Thor: Love and Thunder.
I enjoyed that movie.
Yeah, I did too. I enjoyed it too. But the one thing I really disliked is that it was just, they couldn't form two scenes without loading them with slapstick humor.
I mean, I will say I think this movie was even better than Thor.
Yeah, I would agree. And they cooled it down a bit. You could actually feel like there's stakes. Like, if we don't defeat the bad guy, the bad thing will happen.
I definitely think Thor and Ant-Man were better than Black Panther, though. I did not care for Black Panther nearly as much as these.
I actually really did like Wakanda Forever. The first Black Panther movie I thought was a little boring, but...
Oh, really? Okay.
Yeah, but, it's okay. It was good. It just, Chadwick Boseman's character... I shouldn't say Chadwick Boseman's... I should say... well, anyway, the Black Panther wasn't as exciting as the supporting cast. The supporting cast was great in the first Black Panther. And in this, and then in Wakanda Forever, I feel pretty much everybody was great.
Yeah, but my issue was largely on the added characters, because the fact they introduced a new character that was going to have their own series. They spent a little too long being like, oh, hey, here's this character. They're going to get their own show. Better watch it. And, oh, hey, the villain. They're also a hero in the comics, so they're probably going to stick around.
Yeah, well, they're more of an anti-hero in the comics. Sometimes villain. They're a villain / anti-hero.
At least in this, the villain is already previously established in Marvel, the Marvel universe.
In Quantumania.
But this is how he's being introduced to the major, players. Presumably, Ant-Man's going to tell the rest of the Avengers, hey, we ran into this dude. He's pretty bad. You better make sure he doesn't come back or something. Hopefully.
I don't think he will. Because they
or at the very least, he'll, when he shows up eventually, he'll probably be like, oh my god, this guy, you got to make sure, watch out. He's going to know. At least that's the way I see it.
If I could shrink down I would get just a single piece of bird seed.
Yeah.
And then just eat that.
Funny you should mention something like that. Apparently, they did an homage to Back to the Future Part 2 in this movie, using the shrinking technology to make food get bigger.
Yeah, it seemed. Yeah, I guess you could say that they.
I mean, apparently the director is a fan of Back to the Future.
Yeah, they have a scene where they make use of that.
Apparently, the director directed a behind-the-scenes documentary or something on Back to the Future 2. I think it might have been that one where they made hoverboards seem like they were real.
Yeah, they tried to portray them as a real thing.
I want to say that I heard that he directed that.
Oh, I had a coworker who thought that was real.
The director of this movie also directed both the other Ant-Man movies. So I think this is like the one time that the same director's done all the movies in the series. If not the only, at least one of the few. But in any case, yeah, definitely recommend you check this movie out. We saw it the day after it came out. We wanted to see it on Friday, but things conspired against us, and we got to go the day after.
It was largely because I had to work, and it being day one, a lot of the good tickets were sold out. We still could have seen it, but...
Yeah, we either would have been all the way at the back or all the way at the front.
We
would have been doing that.
Yeah, and it's like after... I've done it a couple times, sitting in the neck breakers.
Yeah, it is not fun.
Yeah. Unless I wasn't really invested in the movie, that's about the only time.
I think that might have been like a little bit of why I didn't like Black Widow as much as I might have because
we sat in the neck breaker.
Yeah, never again if we can help it.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely recommend you check it out if you're a fan of the Marvel movies. Don't miss this one. It is definitely not a one you're gonna want to skip if you're following the storyline. Definitely don't think you need to see Eternals to see this movie. So all the people out there are like, oh, I never got to see Eternals. You don't need to see Eternals to watch this movie.
Nobody needs to watch Eternals. It's boring.
Yeah, that one took a lot too... Well, it was way too long of a movie. They could have cut that... They could have made it into 2 parts or even better yet, they should have made that the Disney Plus series instead of Miss Marvel. They should have made the Miss Marvel into a movie instead or something.
I would be okay with them swapping the 2 around. Because I thought Eternals was... It was interesting, but it was just too long. And to split it in 2 movies, no! That's the wrong direction.
Yeah,
Something's long and boring. You don't add more to it.
That's why I said I just realized what I should have said is made into a Disney Plus series.
That would have been fine.
Miss Marvel should have been a movie.
The Marvelous Miss Marvel.
Because, I definitely thought Miss Marvel, dragged on at points where, if they were in a movie, they would have had to have been, a little quicker with some of the scenes there. Cutting out some of the fluff that they used to make it into episodes.
Fluff and floof.
But the Eternals movie was a lot of oh, this is what happened in this time. This is what happened in this time. So it's those could have been each episodes, right?
Yeah. Sure. We're gonna make this an Eternal review as well.
Yeah. I think didn't we already do Eternals? I want to say we did. But anyhow, that's gonna do it for us for this video. What do you think we should do next? Should we watch Wolf Children? Or should we start watching Wolf's Rain? I know somebody, friend of ours, is a big fan of Wolf's Rain. Sure, they'll
Spoiler
love
alert,
us to...
they all die.
You've never seen it.
What are you talking about, Wolf's Rain? Oh, I've seen the last couple episodes.
So you have seen some of it, but not all of it. Okay. Darn, I cannot get this out of here.
What about Rio? When are we gonna do the Rio 1-2 review? And then
you can do that.
And then the chicken movie, and then the duck in the space movie, and then I'm sure I got a few more bird movies.
Yeah, we do.
We'll just put it on my channel. Check out my channel. Stop watching Zakonkos.
I cannot get this out of here. Evidently, I've never watched the Blu-ray. I've only ever watched the DVD.
All right, we're gonna open this up.
Definitely check out Wolf's Rain. Definitely check out Wolf Children. It is a really fun movie. I definitely would like to watch it with Azurean someday.
You gonna close out the Ant-Man and the Cowboy Bebop?
What's that?
The Ant-Man the Cowboy. Check out Cowboy Bebop.
We established that you should.
check out Ant-Man Quantumania. It's a fun movie. Oh, well, if people think it's definitely not the worst Marvel movie. I'd say it's up there. Ant-Man.
And we didn't say it earlier. Happy Fursuit Friday!
Happy Fursuit Friday.